Howdy, friends!
Howdy, friends.
Surprise! But you thought you seen The Last of Us.
Yeah. But you know, we're pretty hard
This is
to
weird. I
get
don't
rid of.
like that I'm looking at you to the side instead of like tunnel vision.
I don't like it that I can't like hear you in my ear. Like I'm okay. Oh, you guys. Okay, bye guys. That's the end of the stream. Mars and I gotta go. So you can see Mars came out here to visit me in Portland, Oregon.
I did. Finally.
And we were like, you know, we have to do a show. It's been a year and a motherfucking half. And I'm going to say that one more time. It has been a year and a motherfucking half.
Yeah, it's insane.
And we've kind of had like a wild ride this last year.
It's been a rough year for both of us for very separate reasons.
Yeah.
TLDR, both of our lives literally fell apart. At the exact same time, literally. That's how connected we are, is that when our lives are great, they're great together, but when they fall apart, they fall apart together. Yay!
The thing that I learned about this year is that when grief is shared, it's when grief is shared, it's half the grief. When joy is shared, it's double joy. Damn. So
wow, we're 2 seconds in and she's already gonna make me cry. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks. Bye guys. I gotta go cry.
That's what I do.
So it's been rough. A lot has changed. There's been a lot of bad, but there has also been a lot of good. Mm-hmm. So before we go into that, we are going to talk about some bad. And it's not the bad you think at first, but this week was a pretty big week for not just us, but the entire country. And we just want to let everybody know that we are all in this together. We will persevere. We did this once before. We can do it again. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, but it is going to be a hard, long fight. And we can do this because at the end of the day, we are a community. We are all in this together. We want you to know that this is always going to be a safe space for you. If you need to reach out to either one of us at any time, please feel free to, but just know that you are enough, you matter, and we are happy to have you here.
Yes, I 100% agree with all of those sentiments. You know, whatever your political stance,
whatever your political stance.
So Tuesday, you know, we maybe got some news that we didn't really like, and you flew in Wednesday, and I feel like it's a privilege to be able to have you here because it's distracted me from like doom scrolling, and so
I agree.
I think that's another reason why you need to not leave Portland, because
the cats need me.
So your person is going to come and try to, because I'm going to kidnap you. They're going to come and get you, and I'm going to kidnap them, and then I'll send for your cats to be sent here.
Okay, as long as everybody's together, that's all that matters. Mm-hmm. But we wanted to make it a big statement because we know how rough of a week it's been, not just for us, but for everybody. Yeah. But that we want you to know that we hear you.
We do. And I think there are certain groups of people who are probably feeling very singled out. Like I think a lot about like my trans friends who have been used as like political fodder. And things are already dangerous for them, and they've already got a target on their back. They're going to have even more of a target on their back these next couple of years. So it's going to be really important to have community, reach out to the people that you love, and just make sure that there's a good community here. Yeah. That's what I love about this comic community.
But there's been a lot of other things happening, and I know that we wanted to talk about them.
Yeah.
So do we want to lead with the bad first and then the good, or how would you like to do this?
I mean, I'll talk about like my bad stuff.
Okay.
I talk about my bad stuff all the time.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. So like most of you know, we did a hiatus, like in last March, April. And then
we made a point to come back.
We were like, okay, like don't worry, y'all, we'll be back, and then we weren't. So, you know, in July, I got diagnosed with late stage cancer. It has been a wild ride.
Yes, it has.
And I'm going through all the complications. I've done over 20 rounds of chemo. I've done some radiation. I get blood transfusions. And so I want to thank, and the team that I have, like my care team has been incredible. So I want to thank everyone who has donated to my GoFundMe, because that literally has been a lifeline for me
It really
while
has.
not working.
And while most people know about the GoFundMe, we did put that link in the bio this morning. So if you look below, you can find the link to keep Jennifer reading, because at the end of the day, while we want you to be healthy and happy and can run 20 miles, even if you couldn't do that before, at the end of the day, we just want to make sure that you're reading.
Yeah. I definitely, I've got a big to be read pile before I go. So I can't die under this administration.
No, you
and
cannot.
I can't die until my
until your TBR is done. So we're gonna keep Jennifer around for a long, long time.
Yes.
Forever and ever and ever. But a huge shout out, honestly, just to this community who has helped you through so much. You have such a wonderful support group, not just here in Portland, but across the whole country.
Yeah.
So
that's what it's felt like.
I think Jennifer has learned very, very well this year that she is loved probably more than most people on this planet.
It's still unbelievable.
And well, so, because you are literally just a beacon of light and perfect in every single way.
I know we're talking about like weird bad news type stuff.
Yeah.
But I just want to say, like, it's amazing. Like, and you're sitting next to me doing this, and I'm like,
yeah, this is so
she's
weird.
So beautiful.
Oh, shut up.
You're so amazing.
You're beautiful.
Like, I
we gotta go now. We gotta go do
I need to
stuff.
Look at the screen and talk to everybody. But honestly, all I want to do is I just want to like look into her eyes and just be like, you're so beautiful, babe. So,
and this is why we're comic gals, casually comics forever.
Yep.
But there has been bad news, but there's been good news. We talked about a little bit, you finding the support community. Obviously the fact that this is happening right here and that I am sitting next to you live and in person.
I want to also shout out Bueller, Comics with Bueller, because he made an incredible journey across the entire country. To come and see me a little bit sooner. And then I got an amazing visit with John's Comics with Kids.
Which I'm so jealous about, John. You could have waited like 2 weeks when I was here. Come on, pal. Come on, get your schedule.
He was supposed to be here a little bit later, and then he came out sooner.
Listen, we got to plan the schedules, John. What are you doing? But other big news that happened that because I took a social media hiatus, and I feel like close people know, but I haven't technically made a full-blown announcement on social media. But I'm engaged, which is really weird.
Unfortunately, not to me.
Not to Jennifer.
Someone got to her first.
Someone got to me first, but as of last October, so it's been a year, I am engaged. So I think the most exciting part about that is there will now be a That Comic husband, and I know that he's very excited. I'm very excited. You're very excited, even though you're a little jealous. But I don't think I could have asked for a better person in my life. So
he's really great.
It felt really weird to be like, oh, well, this bad thing happened, but Jen and I agreed that we needed some light at the end of the tunnel, and we bring the bad with the good. So
you bring so much good.
I try. But that's enough of our life stuff. We're here to talk about comics.
We are here casually. We're gonna casually talk about comics and
casually. I know we normally do shout outs.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still doing that, or should I just yell at everybody because I know everybody's here? There are literally 37 people here right now at our weirdly scheduled time.
I want to do it, but I'm going to do it like kind of quick. And
do you want help?
I think I got it.
Okay. Jennifer needs to shout everybody out. Whatever. Listen, we are all in Jennifer's world now. We're just living in it. So yeah,
I'm going to wave to everybody. Hello to Sheena and Inja. And that Sheena, here we go.
Who literally was here, I think, 10 minutes after I posted the video. So Sheena gets medal all the time.
Yep. And then hello to Carrie. Thank you so much for being here. I believe I got a notification right before we went live that you dropped a video, like right before we went live. So when we're done here, or if you just get sick of us, please go ahead and head over to Carrie's.
Please.
And then John, of course, who is just so amazing. It was incredible being able to like give you a hug. That meant the world to me. Got to meet my mom. So that was also very fun. Hello to Patrick, Bobby De La Ghetto, my friend Brian, who does the Marvel by the Month podcast. I do want to shout out Brian because they have been just incredible helping me out with everything. So please go follow Marvel by the Month. And please go follow them. Not only because they're a great person, but because I've been on the show. Maybe
and they do a lot of work. Like they are so in depth with their stuff. It's kind of ridiculous.
It is. They're a great bunch of guys. Hello to G Spot, and hello to Super Sick Boy. Yeah, and hello to Big B McFly, who also releases videos all the time. Yeah. And then hello to Scott, our other Portland friend, who helped coordinate John's visit. So shout out to Scott as well. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Everybody's talking in the chat, and I absolutely love it.
I do love that.
Comic Book Husband is here.
Comic Book Husband is here.
Oh my goodness! And this is
we're gonna have to change his handle to that Comic Husband.
That Comic Husband.
Yeah.
I love it.
So get on that. Change that for me. Thank you.
Oh my gosh! All of these people were here waiting for us before we even went live. Hello. Hello to them.
So many people.
So many people, and of course, your other co-host of the Yara Flor
fan club, Yara Flor fan club, Greg, who's one of our other favorite people in comic books. This community is just filled with so many wonderful people. I can't stand it.
And hello to Joe. Hello, Unruly Simeon. Thank you for being here, friend. I love you all so much. If I'm missing you, just go ahead and like make another comment in here, and I'll try to go ahead and pull it up. Our friend Tessa, who I got a chance to meet at Rose City because she came out to Portland.
And then I got a chance to meet her in Baltimore. And then she's been killing it at NYCC, and she's just running the game.
Like, girl, I see you doing.
You're what I aspire to be when I grow up.
Yeah, like we both want. Yes. Yeah.
I want to be Tessa when I grow up.
Okay, me too.
Okay.
We'll both be Tessa.
Okay, we can both be Tessa.
We love you. And Fire Guy Ryan, who I also got to meet at Rose City. Thank you both for being here. I appreciate y'all so much. Did I miss? Okay. And then of course Bueller, who I have to shout out, who like I said, made a trip across country to get out here a little bit sooner. And not only that, but Bueller has just been incredible with supporting me and helping get eyes on my GoFundMe, get money to the GoFundMe, and just I love you, dude, so much. Okay. And then my friend Damien, who has also just been another incredible support. So thank you. Thank you for everything that you've done. I really appreciate it. This comment by Sheena is just really, really great. I'm glad you both stay friends through your tough year, going through it together. That's really what it feels like.
So it's funny because, I took a social media hiatus. Mm-hmm. You were still posting, but not nearly as much. And I can't tell you, I don't know if you got them, but I got so many messages being like, did something happen between you and Jennifer? Are you and Jennifer not friends anymore? Like, what the fuck happened? No. And I'm like, dude, we literally text each other 12 times a day. I'm just taking a little social media hiatus. We're fine. That's the one good thing in our lives right now, is that we have each other. But thank you for caring so much about our friendship.
Yes, our friendship, it's solid.
It's everlasting.
It's kind of funny because like I'll see something, or in the last year, I'll have seen some of the dumb shit where I think we have chosen not to talk about particular things, dumb shit that has happened in the comic community. because I think that we just need to like
internalize
internalize it and maybe like not get canceled for some of the shit that
Oh
we would
God!
say.
Now people are gonna speculate.
Let people speculate. Let's give them something to talk about, girl.
Put that on
Okay.
the Patreon. No, I'm just kidding.
So anyways, there were moments where like news would happen and I would text you or you would text me and I'd be like, girl, I was just about to text you. What the fuck is going on with
And there were
this
so
shit?
many times where it's like, God, I wish we were doing a show this week so we
Yeah.
could talk about it. But
And then there were times where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so glad we're not doing a show because we would just,
it would be bad.
Yeah.
And we would just rant nonstop. I mean, that's what we do anyway, but
Yeah, that's
yeah,
our style. Y'all know it.
it is. It is. So, I guess it's time for us to talk about things that people actually came here for. And that's,
What did y'all come here for?
Yeah.
Tell us in the comments.
Tell us in the comments what you want us to talk about, because we usually lead off. As you can tell, we are going extremely off script with today's show.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a special show. So we do have a couple comics to talk about. We do have like 1 or 2 comic news things to talk about. And then I think it's just going to be a lot of like, what has Portland been like? All of the dumb bitch money that I spent. Oh my God. I can't believe that's the first time I've actually used that phrase while I've been out here. But it's infectious. I spent an egregious amount of dumb bitch money. And I don't care about spending the money. It's more so about how I'm getting it all home.
I told her we're just gonna leave it here
And ship it
and
out.
she can move out. Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, you're
That's
gonna
true.
ship it?
Oh, I mean,
Just come back.
yeah, we
I'll
can
hold
do
it
that
for
too.
you.
We can do that too. But in terms of like news, I think there's just like one big thing that we want to talk about. So again, if there's anything you want us to put our colorful commentary on, please leave it in the comments below and we will try to get to it. But there was a big announcement at New York Comic Con this year. And that's the return of Vertigo, which is kind of insane because why take it away if you were just going to bring it back?
And I have to say this because I say it every fucking time, but Justice needs, Karen Berger needs justice so bad. She was the head of Vertigo. She went and she like made comics so good. So many of the Vertigo titles that you know and love came because of her. And then I feel like they just like swept Vertigo out of her feet a couple of years ago.
Literally shuttered the offices. It was just out of nowhere that they decided that Vertigo was not going to be. And then we got DC Black Label. And so but then there was a lot of thought.
There was Milkfed, or not Milkfed. That's Kelly Sue.
Milk.
Was it? It was the Young Animal or
Young Animal. We had Young Animal. We had DC Black Label. We had Hill House Comics. DC has done so many imprints over the past years, and guess what? I love those imprints, but they lasted for a year, maybe 2 tops, and then we never saw them again. So with Vertigo in particular, I think the one thing that makes it so, I mean, other than the fact that it's Vertigo, is James Tinian, Tiny Onion. He said his name this morning on a live, and I was like, that's how you actually say your name. And now I can't remember how it is, so we're just going to continue to call him Tiny Onion.
But that's their like the name of their company. So
exactly. Cool. So I feel like we need credits on that first of all, because I don't think we were around when Tiny Onion was created. Mm-hmm. So we need rights, James, just like a little bit. I mean, we'll take free comics, that works. But they announced that with the sequel to Nice House on the Lake, which is called Nice House by the Sea, love that title by the name. I think it's very clever. That with issue 3, it would be leaving the Black Label imprint and would be moving to Vertigo, and that issues 1 and 2 would be reprinted with the Vertigo stamp or logo. And I have a lot of thoughts on that. Do you?
I do, but the only real coherent thought about that is that it reminds me of when a couple years ago they did that Swamp Thing run, and initially the Swamp Thing run was like 1 through 8 or 1 through 10, mm-hmm. and then they ended up like doing an event, and I mean the Swamp Thing series was just so damn popular because of course it's Swamp Thing. He's such a great character, and 2 was written by Ron V, and the artwork was just stellar as well. And so they increased the amount of issues. It was then a out of 12 series, so it's a 12 issue run, and then all of the first like 1 through like 6 say like 1 through 8 or 1 through 10, and then all the ones after that say 1 through 12, and they didn't reprint them because that seems like a silly thing to reprint,
to do.
but it bothers me, and that's the most important thing, is that it
bothers
bothers
you.
me.
Absolutely.
That's what talking on the internet
Again,
is about,
we're
right?
living in Jennifer's world, and you guys need to adhere to it. But I think it's silly for a lot of reasons, because A, why not, if you knew that Vertigo was coming back, why not just hold off on printing Nice House on the Sea
for the what, the
for
2-3 months?
It would have been 2-3 months for them to do that. And then, especially with the way that our economy is right now, people are not buying variants the way that they were like right after the pandemic. They are not buying multiple issues the way that they were right after the pandemic. So it's like, who's actually going to buy those issues other than the weirdo that thinks that, oh, it's the first Vertigo logo, so it's going to sell for $1 million.
You know,
hint, it's not.
It's not. But you know, the only, like, I don't want to say the only good thing, but one of the benefits of doing that could maybe mean that someone who wanted to get into the series, who didn't get their hands on issue 1, will now go out and buy it.
But I don't think it really sold out. I think issue 1 and 2 are still kind of readily available.
Yeah.
I haven't picked up because I have not picked up comics in a hot minute, but yeah, it's just really weird. And then we have to have a whole discussion on, well, what's going to happen with DC Black Label, because I love Black Label. It's produced some of our favorite books: Wonder Woman Historia, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. You really liked Aquaman Andromeda.
Yeah.
I believe there was a Swamp Thing run under Black Label.
I didn't like that one.
You didn't like that one, but
that one was actually, I think it was written by Jeff Lemire, and
yes,
I didn't like it. And then there was the issue where like the first one came out, but then the second one didn't come out for almost a year.
Right.
And so that printing schedule just messes with my squirrel brain.
Okay, well, that aside,
that, you know,
DC Black Label has really just brought some really great things to the table. Zatanna Brings Down the House. I haven't read it, but I've heard nothing but good things, and I really want to read it. I'll wait till trade for that, even though I might want to pick up some of the covers.
Yeah.
But I'm really hoping that DC Black Label can live on side Vertigo. Like, I want the two to coexist, because I feel like DC Black Label maybe should be reserved for those more mature superhero titles, and then like Vertigo will be for the independent work and the creator-owned work,
like the maybe like no superhero really, or like it, yeah,
it could work. It can work. It's
DC,
just silly.
hire us.
Yeah, hire us. Hi, we're here.
We're us.
We're us.
That's
that's our resume.
Yes.
But I did see there was a comment. We've probably lost it. But somebody was asking about the absolute titles.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I have a lot of feelings about those absolute titles, both good and bad.
Okay, so, what are those feelings?
Well, we'll talk about one in a little bit. But absolute Batman will make the internet very mad. I did not read Absolute Batman. I'm probably never going to read Absolute Batman. I've said it before. I'm not a fan of Scott Snyder. Okay, let me rephrase. Let's rephrase, because I have met Scott. Scott is a lovely human being. He's
Scott,
probably,
if you're watching.
Scott, you are watching, so I'm just telling you, you're a lovely human being. He's probably one of the nicest creators I've ever met in comics. Your writing just doesn't do it for me, and that's okay. Writing doesn't have to be for everybody. That fucking logo is so stupid. Whoever created the Absolute Batman logo, I need you to be fired immediately, because a 2-year-old could make that, and I hate it so much. And it has nothing to do with the thick bat logo, because I've talked shit about Frank Miller's Batman several times, but I will give it credit. I really like that logo. This logo makes no sense. No sense.
I love that. That's like
that's where my feelings go, is that damn logo. And also, you know what? I'm gonna say it, the Batmobile. Why is it a construction truck? Why is it a dump truck? Does Batman need money? Did he run out of funds? Why is it a dump truck?
Didn't he though? Like, didn't he run out of money? Isn't that like part of the storyline right now?
This is an alternate universe.
Oh,
remember, Absolute Power is
right.
the absolute universe. Which it's weird. But I have other feelings that we'll get to later in the show. Again, Scott Snyder, very nice. But that logo, we have a lot of thoughts about the logo. Well, I have a lot of thoughts about that logo, but you know, that's all.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Yeah. Again, if you have anything else you want us to put our colorful commentary on, please put it in the comments.
Yeah.
We're going to move to the very small comic portion of the show because we have not been reading a whole lot.
That's like the one thing I've been reading, but it's been like
Sporadic.
Like where I used to read, y'all remember, like I would read like 20, 30 single issues a week. And
remember that time you read 100 graphic novels in a month like a crazy person?
That was a crazy person.
That was a crazy person.
I might try to do that again.
That wasn't Jennifer. That was Patricia. That was Jennifer.
That was Patricia.
No, Patricia.
No, I am that.
But yeah, let's talk about comics. And actually, since we were talking about absolutes, this is a wonderful segue. So again, I don't have a lot. I have a very small stack here, and these are just the comics that I have bought here in Portland, and I read through this morning. So let's talk about them. I know you haven't read, but I'm sure you can put a lot of input in.
Yeah.
So I'll
just pretend like I read them.
We're gonna talk about Absolute Wonder Woman. This is written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman. When the Absolutes were announced, this is probably the one that I was most excited about because the pitch was Wonder Woman grew up in hell and she has witch powers and she rides a dead skeleton Pegasus. And I'm like, well, fuck, sign me up.
What was the name of the horse in Yara Floor?
Jerry.
So is it like Devil Jerry?
I wish. Listen, Kelly, if you're listening, you are listening. We need to rename the Pegasus because it is literally just named Pegasus.
Okay.
Devil Jerry. I love that.
Would it be like Barry?
Not Barry.
Terry?
Larry? Rary?
Or Mary?
Could be. She a bad bitch.
Yeah.
She a bad bitch. So,
that's my contribution.
This is what happens when you put it together in the same room. Now, imagine how Portland has felt for the last week.
Yeah.
So, Absolute Wonder Woman, hands down, is the best of the three. That being said, I did not read the other two, but I'm just going to tell you right now. This is probably one of the best books I have ever read. Definitely one of the best Wonder Woman books I have ever read. It's disgusting how good this is.
I literally got a text from you this morning because she's not staying at my apartment because obviously it's too small.
There's too many comics. I'd have to sleep on a bed of comics, and we can't do that to the comics.
Yeah. So where you're staying at, you texted me this morning, and you were like, "Wonder Woman has got me."
Okay, well, like, hear me out. Like, look at this. Look at this.
Live
Gen reaction. Look at this artwork.
Like,
this is insane.
And
she's gonna lose it when I tell her about the book because I refuse to tell her about the book because I wanted a live reaction on the stream. Yes, she uses blood to use her paint. It's amazing. So, I'm gonna kind of go in depth to Absolute Wonder Woman because the fact that something like this was not done sooner is insane. I feel like giving Wonder Woman witchy powers, pagan powers, especially when she's already got a relationship to the Greek gods, is a given. So in this, Wonder Woman is taken away by the gods. Wonder Woman is taken away by the gods from the Amazons as a punishment.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the only child on Themyscira, and she's taken away, and she is given to somebody who has been on an island for years in hell as their punishment. And
that would be my punishment. If someone gave me a baby, I'd be like, oh.
Well, that's the funny part is this person is like, why are you giving me a baby? Like, I could literally care if it lives or dies. But wait until I tell you who the person is. It is Cersei. Wonder Woman villain and resident baddie Cersei is who Wonder Woman's mom is in Absolute Wonder Woman. And what makes this run even more like cool and special is Apollo forbids Cersei from using the word Amazon. And whenever she says it, it's kind of like blurbed out with the lettering, which is really cool.
That's interesting.
And so she has to teach Diana what she is. And it's this really powerful conversation, not just on motherhood and being a mother, but it's also about finding yourself and reclaiming your identity while also being a resident badass. The fact that this is only going to be 5 issues is an absolute fucking crime.
I was just gonna ask.
It's a crime.
Like, I would say the only upside to a small run is that like the trade will come out sooner.
That's it's like a
crime.
It's a crime, and I wish that this was like just Wonder Woman all the time. Like, I'm gonna be really sad because we know the Absolutes are going to be a it's like Future State, where it's going to be here for a little bit and then it's going to go away, and we're probably never going to see it again. But I want to see this Wonder Woman all the time, and she's beautiful and badass, and she could step on me and marry me and everything in between. So if you have not picked up Absolute Wonder Woman, please do. And what's great about this is I think it would be a great book for people that don't even like superheroes.
Yeah,
because it reads more like an indie comic. If
who
you're
know who
Wonder Woman is, because everybody knows who Wonder Woman is. I would say if you liked Wonder Woman Dead Earth, if you liked Wonder Woman Historia, pick up Absolute Wonder Woman. And that's the other thing, is in the past couple of years, we've gotten some of the most amazing standalone Wonder Woman stories.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something that Wonder Woman has struggled with, because, you know, everybody knows who Wonder Woman is, but how many iconic stories does she have, like, say, Batman or Superman?
Oh, for sure. That are like, I mean, I think that...
I mean, I'll say, like, 12 iconic stories, but to the average person that maybe reads comics casually,
I think that, like, you know, that's the thing. And I think this is why we need a lot more voices in comics journalism, comic book reviews, influencing, is because, like, I think for a very long time it was like, oh, if you want to get into DC, read these 5 Batman stories, read these 5 Superman stories, and Wonder Woman maybe gets left behind, or there's not noted.
Yeah.
But for me, like, Wonder Woman Dead Earth is like possibly one of my favorite Wonder Woman stories ever, and I know
it's so good. So you'll definitely love Absolute Wonder Woman. So yeah, those are my feelings on Absolute. Apparently Superman was not great, so I'm not even going to bother to pick it up, because edgy Superman, who asked for that?
Mm-hmm.
So why is Superman edgy? I don't like that.
Yeah, I feel like maybe that's a very...
Superman should always be good and wholesome and happy and a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't need him to be edgy.
Yeah.
So picking up with other comics that I picked up. So I'm not going to go too much into depth about the particular issue, but I will go into depth about the series, because, listen,
she has thoughts.
I have a lot of thoughts. So I picked up the Green Arrow annual. And while, like I said, I'm not going to talk too much about the annual per se, I really do want to talk a lot about the series, because, listen, y'all, it only took me stepping away from comics and going on hiatus and not reading comics to get everything I fucking wanted. Like, we got a Fire and Ice series. We got a Birds of Prey series that was actually good and written by Kelly Thompson. We got a Green Arrow series, which, it's like, okay, if y'all wanted me to stop reading comics to get my favorite books back, like, you just had to tell me. Like, I would have gone away a lot earlier. So Green Arrow is currently being written by Joshua Williamson. And if you're not reading this book right now, I don't know what to tell you. I need everybody to pick up Green Arrow ASAP. So I have a lot of thoughts about it. Do I have a lot of thoughts about Green Arrow? Like, I don't.
I think you also have thoughts and feelings.
Oh God, I'm gonna cry. You know, I'm not crying. I've already cried. So fun fact: I read the first issue. What was it, like 4 months ago? I was late on the ball, but I read the first issue like 4 months ago, and I called you crying hysterical about it, because I was like, Jennifer, this is perfect. It's everything I ever wanted. So I've had a big problem with Green Arrow the past couple years. Well, we've had decent runs like Rebirth. The biggest problem I had was that the Green Arrow family was missing. And Joshua Williamson, let me tell you, he is doing everything in his power to bring back the family, even if it has to deal with the multiverse, which is what is going on in the current Green Arrow tie-in or title. So this entire book is literally revolving around him. Okay. Regaining every single Arrow family member that has been missing. So, like, Mia Dearden, who has not shown up in comics for 15 years, getting her back was a big deal. We have Arrowette back. We have Connor back. We have Roy back. Most importantly, they brought Leanne back from the dead. And Leanne has been dead also like 15 years. And that's Roy Harper's daughter and Green Arrow's granddaughter. And it's perfect. And I think it's funny how they're doing it, because they're basically calling Oliver Queen like an anchor being, where he cannot be happy and have his family together, because if the family is together, it will destroy the universe.
I feel like...
And I find that so fucking funny that his family is so perfect that they can't be together. That's just funny to me.
I hate that because it feels like that's one step above what they said about Batwoman. Like, you just can't be happy. Or, like, there's...
Yeah, it's crazy. It's so funny how they're doing it, but if you are a fan of Green Arrow and have felt like me where it feels like something is missing,
yeah,
this has brought a lot back. They've brought Phil Hester back for a lot of the covers and even some of the internal artwork, and that, if you know, is a classic Green Arrow artist. It's so good. And honestly, is it a great jumping on point for new readers? Maybe
that's
not.
John's question.
I mean, I think you'll still enjoy it. Here's my thing. I think that this book has layers. So I think if you're like me, where you've read a majority of Green Arrow and read multiple runs, you'll be able to see some of like the instances, and I'll be like, oh, I remember when that happened in that run, or I remember when this happened. And there's like small callbacks. But I think if you haven't read Green Arrow, you should be okay with picking it up.
I think everyone has picked up a comic at one point that they knew nothing about. And was
some
just
people
like,
have picked up Avengers vs. X-Men and Red Hood and the Outlaws as their first comic.
And like, though, you would think like, no, you need to read all these other things to get into this thing, but that's, you know, everyone has got that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's a really good book. I've been wanting to talk about it for a really long time, and like I said, it just feels like DC is finally giving me everything I want. And I just had to step away for a little bit. So again, could have hinted at it sooner. Speaking of DC, because we're gonna keep it rolling, and I think this is also on brand for like things I've wanted. Yeah. But again, just tell me to fuck off and I will. This week was the first issue of Batgirl, specifically Cassandra Cain's Batgirl. This is being done by Tate Bromble, who we really like from Barbalian and also
in the Black Hammer universe.
In the Black Hammer universe, and also House of Slaughter.
House of Slaughter from the Something Is Killing the Children.
And then the artwork is done by Takeshi Miyazawa. So apologies if I did that wrong, but do me a favor, because I know you haven't read this, but just look at this art. Like it's insane how great this is. I really love this. Let me see if I can kind of show y'all how just beautiful and fluid and connecting this is. So Cassandra Cain is the second Batgirl. I believe she is the second Batgirl. She was originally raised, and I don't want to use the word bred, but she was bred by the League of Assassins to essentially become the ultimate assassin warrior. And then Batman rescued her in the 90s and then officially adopted her, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And now she's one of the resident Batgirls. And in this series, Lady Shiva, who is her mother, it's basically a big conversation about their relationship. And I really like it because it talks about like estranged parents and, you know, setting your boundaries, which I think is really interesting and not something I would have expected from a Batgirl series, but considering it's done by Tate Bromble, who has made me cry on multiple occasions, it makes a lot of sense.
That does.
It's really fun. It's really kinetic. It's really fluid. It's a very easy and simple read, which I really appreciate coming back into comics because Goldfish Brain needs easy reading. Baby's first comic. It's so good. It's really, really good.
Now, I would ask, can someone who doesn't know all of that history, like, would that be a good book for them?
Oh, absolutely. So they lay everything out right in the beginning. And this is a perfect book for all ages. Like, I would honestly give this book to younger girls to read because Cassandra Cain is a badass. And we all have something to learn from her.
So any parents of teenage girls,
please
or
pick up
boys or they thems.
They thems. Anybody, if you have a child who likes reading comics, have them pick it up. The only complaint I have is a little thing here. Go ahead and tell me what does that say?
Part 1 of 6.
And I've got a gut feeling that they're going to do with this like they have with a lot of the new DC books, where they say it's 1 through 6, but if it sells really well, it's going to become ongoing because
Yep.
remember that's what they did with Green Arrow. That's what they did. There was a Poison Ivy they did that with.
Yeah.
So that means you need to run down to your local comic shop and purchase this book so that way we can ensure that Cassandra Cain at least gets like 20 issues, 25.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind that.
Let's manifest
Like
25 issues.
we
with
don't
Batgirl.
want her to go on forever to the point where it's like a drag, but like 15, 20, 25, she needs more than 6. So please, please, please pick up Batgirl. And that was out this week.
What else you got?
What else do I have? Do you want to talk about another book that came out this week?
I do. I really do. And a lot of the reason is because we went to a launch party for a comic book last night at Books with Pictures, who most of you know is like my favorite shop. They are an incredible shop. If you are in Portland, please, please, please go support.
And I can attest to it now. Like I totally understand why you. I mean, I had a feeling it was a great shop, but I totally understand now why you put Books with Pictures on a pedestal as high as you do. Because I met with Katie last night, who's the owner of Books with Pictures, and we were hugging and talking and crying. And I told her that this is literally what comic shops should feel like. It is so warm and inviting and cozy, and it's the type of comic shop that I wish Baby Comic Mars had.
Yeah.
And it's the shop that I wish a lot of women and people of color and queer folks and people that just don't feel like part of the comic community. Like basically if you don't feel like that standard white boy who reads comics, because it is just so warm and inviting and friendly, and it will help get you into reading comics.
Agreed. And so they did this launch party last night that they did it for this book and another book as well. And they had a live band playing in their little shop.
Cool. How many comic shops can say that they have bands playing?
Yeah. So it was super, super fun all around. So tell us about the book.
So newly out this week is FML by Kelly Sue DeConnick, who we love from Bitch Planet, Wonder Woman Historia. She's Captain Marvel. Oh my God, I forgot to tell Kelly Sue that I had that Captain Marvel hanging on my wall for years, like literally years. I had never read the book, but it was hanging on my wall for years. Little Baby Comic Mars. I thought she was cool. But this is done by Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez. This book is fucking insane, y'all. I read it this morning. If you like books like 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank.
Oh yeah, which this is high praise because that's literally like
that's my favorite book of all time is 4 Kids Walk Into a Bank. It is so funny and so humorous, and I love that because we don't see humor a lot from Kelly Sue. It's a lot of seriousness. It's a lot of heavy conversations.
It is. There's humor in it, but that's not the focus.
And like there are definitely heavy conversations in this. Like they actually talk about they subtly talk about school shootings, and there's a scene where the mom figure buys a new backpack, and the daughter is like, well, I liked my old backpack, and mom is like, well, this one is bulletproof. So it's like everyday conversations that we're having. There's conversations about Palestine and the conflict over, well, it's not a conflict anymore, it's an all-out war, but conversations on that. But it's done so subtly that you almost miss it. So I don't.
But that's good. To me, like that's good world building
because it's natural and it's not, as the kids would say, woke.
Yeah.
You know, it's it's natural. It happens. We all talk like this. And Kelly Sue, let me tell you, she's a funny gal.
Yeah.
She's
so sharp.
I want to see more of this from Kelly Sue. So it's funny because we were actually talking similarly last night about Chip Zdarsky. Because Chip Zdarsky has been doing a lot of serious stuff with public domain, and now he's the big boy on Batman. And I made a comment last night that was just like, can Chip Zdarsky be funny again? Like, I need like Howard the Duck, sex crim, Chip Zdarsky humor.
I need Kaptara. Y'all, if you have not read Kaptara, it to me is just like that subtle, funny world builds. The second volume of it just came back out. Like, it came out after a very long year's hiatus. So there's 2 volumes of Kaptara to read. Please read it.
Please read it. So this is my quote because Chip I know you're watching.
Yes, thank you,
Huge
Chip.
fan of the show. Thank you, Chip. We appreciate you, Chip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make hats that say "Make Chip Zdarsky funny again." Can I do that?
I would say let him be funny again, or like,
So let Chip Zdarsky be funny again.
yeah,
Okay, that works. And we'll just make him like fluorescent pink.
yeah.
That works.
I
We
think
can
you
do
would
that. We can
appreciate
do that. I
that.
think Chip would like that. I love that. Love that for him. Love that for us. But anyway, we're here talking about FML. It's just this really cool punk rock story. Like I don't know how to describe it other than it's four high school kids that are all really fucking weird. So it's like how we were when we grew up, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate to it.
Yeah.
But it's four kids who are really weird and their friendship, and they're getting into some cult like mystical magic voodoo stuff. The artwork in this is really gorgeous. And what's really cool is the main character, Riley, they make it a point to say that like one of his most prized things is his sketchbook, and you find him reading it, or not reading, but writing in his sketchbook a lot. And so you get a lot of pages like this where it's him sketching in his sketchbook and things that are happening in the sketchbook. And I love that. Also, this book is set in Portland.
I know.
It's set in Portland. And you know what's funny? You know what's great? So we don't talk enough about back material in books. We really don't. And this has a lot of really fucking fun stuff. So
that reminds me of Bitch Planet, because she did that a lot for
she
Bitch
did.
Planet.
So if you trade weight, I'd recommend getting the single issues. It is only 4 issues, but I would recommend getting the single issues just for the back material alone. So there's actually an entire map of Portland. And it was really funny this morning because I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, Cosmic Monkey, I've been there. Oh, Excalibur Comics, books with pictures, I've been there. Pals, been to Pals. So like I kind of wish I picked this up earlier in the week when I was doing some exploring, because I think it would have helped a lot with where I wanted to go when you weren't around.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do. So it's very funny that this is in here.
I love that.
One of the other things that are in here is they have top 5s for all the characters. So there's Riley's top 5 horror movies, Glory's top 5 metal drummers, Patty's top 5 murder podcasts, and these are all real things. It's not like they're made up.
Yeah.
So it's like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Halloween, The Thing. There's Lydia's top 5 animal facts. And then it says, send us your top 5. So I'm going to challenge our community. What do you want us? I would like to send in to Kelly Sue our top 5 of something. We can do it separate or together.
Yeah.
But what should our topic be? Because it seems like it could be anything. And I feel like comics is just too on the nose.
Yeah.
What if we did like top 5 cryptids, or like we need something good. So again, this is going to be for our Casually Comics crew out there. Put in the comments below, what do you want to see our top 5 as? Because I would like us to show up in an issue of FML. I think it would be really fun. It would be a way to carry on our legacy.
I would imagine maybe that's already done, but let's.
What, our legacy?
No. The artwork and stuff, or like, but I guess in the back stuff.
The back stuff they do last minute. So yeah, we can do top 5. So yes, please give us ideas for a top 5. But pick up FML. Again, it's only 4 issues.
Yeah.
And it's so fun. It's so good.
I also want to say, like, one thing that Kelly Sue is incredible about is community support. And like, she created a Discord and lots of really cool like community type things, and like a podcast to go along with the book. And so I love those like multimedia things. So pick it up for the story, but I hope other people get the chance to enjoy all the other stuff too. So pick up FML.
It's a very fun book. Very, very fun book. I have 2 books left, but one of them is just kind of like, I'm gonna like briefly talk about it because there's something really freaking funny about it that I just love. But the last one that I read was Murder Kingdom by Van Lente, Panda, and Carrie. I'm sorry. Okay, here, let's get this. Let me be a proper comics journalist. So it is written by Fred Van Lent, and with artwork done by Chris Panda, which I love that last name. I love that for you. Um, this is a new one from Mad Cave, which, speaking of Mad Cave, because Mad Cave is like one of our favorite publishers.
Yeah, they're just incredible, like incredible stories as well as incredible people.
Incredible people. We love them all around. Mad Cave, this one's for you. But they're celebrating their 10-year anniversary,
which I didn't even realize.
I didn't even realize.
I love Mad Cave, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe 10 years.
It's been a while, 10 years, and it feels like their books are just getting better and better and more creative.
Yeah.
And Murder Kingdom is one of them. So I was actually really excited to find
Look at this cover. Can you like?
This cover is insane. So what's funny is cover A is done by Paulina Ganusow, who did Zodiac Star Force, and Girl Mode, and she's known for doing this very like cutesy, kind of pop colors.
I feel like she's maybe
artwork.
done like My Little Pony. Is she doing?
I don't know. I know she was doing Powerpuff Girls for a while.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
But I think it's funny that you have cover A done by her and then cover B, which is this.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna.
Hey, we all have, sides to us.
We do. I'm gonna kind of flip through this so that way you can see, because I know you didn't get a chance to read it yet. But Murder Kingdom takes place in a Disney World-esque amusement park. And it's funny because in this world, the like Sleeping Beauty-esque character has a complete mental breakdown on Instagram. Shout out to her, because I'm pretty sure that I've almost had one of those. She like
one of us.
She like us for real, but she has a complete psychotic mental breakdown. And so very much like Disney World, they yank her away and immediately replace her with another worker who is our main character. And it's really interesting, this like commentary on amusement parks and by extension Walt Disney, which is very funny to me, and the humor in this is really great. And then some mischievous things happen towards the end of the book that leave it on kind of this cliffhanger. And I just think that this book is really fun. I haven't seen anybody talking about it, which is making me kind of mad, because the humor in this is great. The commentary in this is great. The artwork, let me show a non-spoilery page. The artwork in this is really fun and really great. I think it's been really well written. And I just think that a lot of people should pick this one up. So Murder Kingdom, I feel like we've been kind of slacking on indie comics lately, which is our bread and butter.
It is.
And it feels great to kind of have one of these back. And go ahead and highlight John's comment. So it does kind of remind me of Dark Ride, which was published by Image like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, I think
we were reading that when we kind of left things behind. So if you're a fan of Dark Ride, definitely pick up Murder Kingdom. I'm going to be as bold and say that I liked this more than Dark Ride from what I remember. This was just really good and a really big shocker.
Yeah.
So pick that one up.
I don't know too much about I've never really been an amusement park person, but I know someone who used to work at Disney, so they gave me some of the this is what happens behind the scenes. And so I really want to go into it more for
see how much is factual.
See how much of from what she told me is in there. Yeah.
I think that's really where it comes from, because I'm sure we've all clicked on a YouTube video that's like, what Disney cast members don't want you to know. Or the awful secrets behind Disney World amusement parks.
And it has to be said in that voice.
Yeah. I love that type of stuff. In a world where Disney kills everybody.
Yeah. You've got one more book.
We have one more book. So I didn't read this book, but it's very funny. And I'm hoping it'll translate on camera. So during my haul yesterday, I picked up Maria Llovet's All the Things We Didn't Do Last Night. This is a one-shot published by Image. And when I got to the counter, they were like, do you know that this is cut weird? And I don't know if you can see it, but it is very cut weird and slanted and just all around weird. And
I feel like you really notice it on the bottom.
It's really bad on the bottom. So we can kind of, there's definitely some weird cut lines on that. So they were really nice. I got this one from Cosmic Monkey. And they were really nice and was like, hey, we can get you another one off the shelf. And I'm like, well, like flipping through it. And I'm like, well, I can read everything. It's not cutting off anything important. I'll take it. I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I've had misprints comics before. I've had comics missing pages, but I have never had one cut on such an angle that I feel like I could kill a man. I could maybe,
I
okay,
love
that's
that.
a little dramatic.
That is a
but,
little bit dramatic, but
it is very sharp. So yeah, but I had to pick it up because I have a love-hate relationship with Maria Lovett because she'll do one great book and then two bad books. And I'm like, let me give her one more chance and she'll do a really great book and then she'll do a really bad book. And I guess this is my shout out. I did read Violent Flowers, which is new by her. So pick that one up because she does vampires in a very weird and strange way. And so kind of, I'm not going to go into it because I don't have it here, but
I feel like Maria Lovett's work is like on the border of the whole romantasy.
Yes.
Like if you like romantasy books, then I think that you would really like
Maria
Lovett because she definitely has a lot of like monster boyfriends.
Yes, and a lot of like witchy boyfriends and just magical stuff. But what's really cool about Violent Flowers, because it is a vampire book, she does something new with the vampires where when they need to feed, they kind of start to decay and wither and get old
and age. Yeah.
And then when they feed, it's like a reverse Benjamin Button or
a regular
Benjamin Button.
Yeah.
So it's like a regular Benjamin Button when they need to feed and then it reverses. I don't know. I just read comics. But I'm sitting there and I'm reading it and it's such a simple concept.
I'm like, why have I never seen that before?
Why hasn't it been done before? So Violent Flowers, there's the second issue, I believe, came out this week or last week.
Okay.
And I believe that one's also a 4-issue miniseries as well. So please pick that one up.
Yeah. Okay, but you have been in Portland for a couple days and you got a lot of stuff. Do you want to show off some stuff?
I won't talk about it. There's so much stuff. What have I done?
She went to Powell's, which is like a very large bookstore.
I did the whole Jennifer thing where it was like a Wednesday and I went to Cosmic Monkey and then I went to Excalibur and then I went to Books with Pictures and then I went to Powell's. JK, I did not do this all in one day because you are a mad woman. I did it throughout several days, but yeah, I have a lot.
Show us what you got. Are you ready?
Oh God.
You could do it rapid fire if you want.
I don't think chat is ready. Is chat ready for this dumb bitch haul?
I'm gonna clear this so
I'm scared because that comic husband is watching and also my mom may be watching and just know that it's all for a good cause.
Yes.
So I don't know if that was very impactful. I kind of exaggerated there on what we did. How are we going to do this? Because there's literally, when I say there's so much. So disclaimer. Well, there's like one DC book and I think maybe like one or two like Image, Dark Horse stuffs. Portland comic shops have some of the coolest indie comics and indie comic scenes I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm from Delaware, where we're lucky that we have comic shops. We have like 3 in the whole state, maybe 4. And
I mean, granted, it's a small state.
but yeah, okay. Counter argument: Connecticut is smaller and has more comic shops.
Yeah.
So Delaware needs to up their game and have more comic shops. But yeah, so I focused a lot on zines and indie comics and things that I could not find back home. Also, I just really wanted to support these cool shops because we talked a lot about Books with Pictures, but Cosmic Monkey, which I visited, is like the other half of Books with Pictures. Books with Pictures is like bright and colorful and pastels and
the displays
friendly. I mean, I'm not saying Cosmic Monkey's not friendly, but it's like a warm hug. And then you go to Cosmic Monkey, which is very punk, very cool, very hip. Everybody there is also super nice. And it's like, it's my two sides because You know, it's very punk, very aesthetic, but then it is also very cute and aesthetic.
Yeah.
So I love
That's
that.
Portland for you.
That is Portland. So we're gonna get into some of this stuff. So I have Hex Lovers, which is a zine. And it just says a tale of romance, depression, and magic users. And that sounds like my whole life. So pick that up. Another zine, this one from Silver Sprocket. There's a lot of stuff from Silver Sprocket. And actually that is something else we want to talk about is Silver Sprocket, I believe, is trying to become its own independent publisher. Which is weird because I thought Silver Sprocket already was. But either way, we need more Silver Sprocket.
Love Silver Sprocket
In the comics universe. So,
shout out to them. They're great.
This is another like zine short comic. I only saw the words a queer horror romance and I was like, all right, add to cart.
Done.
Add to cart. Also from Silver Sprocket. Because you have so many comics here. Like, I don't think people understand. When I walked into Jen's apartment for the first time, I was like, okay, I've seen the pictures, I've seen the FaceTime backgrounds, but there are like 12 bookshelves all filled to the brim. There's about 9 or 10 stacks of comics that are on the floor. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know either.
It's crazy. But this is one of the many books that I found laying around your apartment. And this is called The Chromatic Fantasy. It is done by Silver Sprocket. Look at this gold sprayed edge.
It's beautiful.
You don't see that with comics. It's crazy. But this one, it just says, Jules is a trans man trapped in his life as a nun. Say less. And the artwork is gorgeous. It has a very, like, manga, fairy tale, very indie sort of vibe to it. So when I saw that at the comic shop, I was like, okay, I need that. More Silver Sprocket. Yep, more Silver Sprocket. Hellphone. This is a book that you picked up a while ago, and I remember being really interested in it. Could never find it. So when I found it at Books with Pictures, I immediately picked it up. Okay, this is the one like normal, boring thing, but...
And it's not normal and boring at all.
The fact that I don't own this already is insane. And that is the Barda standalone graphic novel that's all ages. It's part of DC's graphic novels for young adults. It is done by, I'm going to butcher this,
Ngozi Ukazu.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much. But they did Check Please, which is a queer romance hockey book.
Hockey. He's in college. He like goes for hockey. Yeah, it's Check Please is great.
When I saw that they were doing Big Barda, I'm like, okay. And this was another book you had in your apartment, and I'm like, okay, let me just kind of flip through it. And the Furies are here in full force, and not only are they here, but they are cute as fuck. So saw that at the shop, immediately add to cart. This is by Yen Press. So this, I think, is technically considered a manga, but it does not look like a manga. It looks like a standard Western comic. Maybe Yen Press is doing more than just manga now. But it's called Cuckoo's 3 by Cassandra Jean and Moss Cat. And it just looks like cute high school boys in love.
Yeah.
And I love feel-good books and all ages books.
So maybe like if you liked Heartstopper?
That's what I'm thinking. It looked very much like a Heartstopper type book. So again, never even heard of this. Half these books I had never even heard of. So when I see them, I'm like, okay, immediately add to cart.
Mars has got a stack that's
I don't
like
think you understand how many books
she's setting them right in front of the I'm curious when they're going to start hitting the camera and then just like slowly make their way up
keep
here.
That going. I love that. So keep in mind, y'all, we haven't even gotten halfway through. I have to put these in my suitcase to take back to Delaware.
I'm just gonna ship.
No, I mean, I need instant gratification. I need to immediately get home, hug my cats, kiss my husband, and then look at all my treasures.
Okay.
I have to.
Fair.
So this is a recommendation by Josue, which shout out to Josue because I finally got to meet Josue for the first time and I almost cried. And his hair and mustache are even more luscious in person than they are online. And he's just one of the nicest people ever. So I was very excited I got to meet him. And I've met so many Portland pals while I'm here. But this is Moth Keeper. This is from RH Graphic. And it just, again, it's got the manga fantasy bright color vibe that I'm a huge fan of. Almost feels a little bit like a Miyazaki movie.
Ooh.
So I'm extremely excited. And something I didn't notice, because when you're in Books with Pictures and Cosmic Monkey and they have all this cool stuff, you don't look at prices. You kind of just say add to cart, and we'll worry about that later.
Yeah.
This is only $13.99.
Oh,
and
wow.
It's a thick boy.
Yeah.
Like, this could take like 1, maybe 2 days to finish, which is a big deal if you're a comic book. So well worth the price. A huge fan of
Wyatt Kennedy.
This creator who did Bolero last year, 2 years ago, last year?
2 years?
2 years?
I think.
What is time? Time's a concept.
Yeah.
But this is their new creator-owned series, Knights, from Image Comics, and it's been on my radar, so I'm excited to finally have it in my possession. Over My Dead Body is a original graphic novel done by Sweeney Boo, and it is witches and self-love, and it's Sweeney Boo. So what else do I need to say?
Yeah,
and we don't get to see Sweeney Boo on interiors very often. She's mostly covers. So again, add to cart. This one, I don't even know. This is Radiator Comics. It is called It's called
It just looks really fucking cool.
But again, when you see something like this sitting on the shelf, you just gotta pick it up.
Yeah.
You just pick it up. So, but again, the artwork in it is just beautiful and gorgeous. And I'm not going to show this one because it's a little darker, so I don't know if it will translate on screen.
The colors are darker.
The colors are darker, and that's not a bad thing. But I think one of the big things to talk about this one is it's women of color. And not just women of color, but Black women of color. Mm-hmm. So I think that's part of the creative team too, is it's done by people of color, and it's important to have that representation in comics.
And to read those diverse books.
This is from Pow Pow Press, which I fucking love that name, Pow Pow Press.
Pow Pow.
I could say that for like 10 years, Pow Pow Press. Why don't we have any of these on the East Coast? Or at least in Delaware. We don't have shit. Like, sometimes I'll see Silver Sprocket, but not anything like this. So anyway, this is Vile and Miserable. My name, Vile and Miserable. Hi, nice to meet you. But from what I got, this is just a little weird dude who loves Halloween so much. And I guess Christmas is coming, and he's going to make everybody's life hell.
That sounds like me.
Christmas is coming, and Halloween is over, and that is also me.
Yeah.
So, again, add to cart. Oh God, there's still more?
But wait, there's more.
What do you mean there's still more? So, I want to formally apologize to you.
To me?
Because every week we would do the show, and you would have a stack of books, and I'd be like, Jennifer, how could you buy so many books?
And now you get it.
I get it. I get it completely. So, this is Paint the Town Red. I wonder if this has to do with Doja Cat's Paint the Town Red.
Oh.
I can't find a publisher on this. So it's very small, but it says a romantic comedy comic series featuring queer femme monster babes who kiss, date, and have dramatic pasts. Hi, it's me.
Yeah, that's
put in the cart.
That's all I need to know.
I need more people to start putting on the back, just like, hey, this is a queer monster woman.
Queer monster.
Like, hi. This is Love Advice from the Great Duke of Hell. Can I marry the Great Duke of Hell?
Yes.
Because look at this man. Like, I don't care about the man in front of him. I would like to marry the Great Duke of Hell. And this was a webtoon.
Demon Daddy.
Demon Daddy. Oh, I love that. But this was a webtoon. that was officially compiled. So yeah, I could have just read the webtoon, but
I like physical books.
I like physical books, and I want to support local comic shops. Are we starting to hit the screen? We haven't hit the screen yet.
Not
That's
yet.
so funny. This is from Dark Horse. It's called Final Girls. It looked cool.
Yeah.
I don't need to say anything else. I liked the color. I liked the title. I put it in the cart. Put it in the cart. This should need no introduction.
Yeah, I love that book.
How do
right
I
there.
not own a copy of Be Gay Do Comics?
I feel like I've literally had it on my shelf behind me for years.
Be Gay Do Comics. I've known about it. It's not like I walked into a shop and was like, oh, I've never seen this before. I knew about it. I just didn't own it. Oh, there we go. We hit it. Yay! So now I got to put everything everywhere else. Oh, great. Another Silver Sprocket title. This is When to Pick a Pomegranate. I don't know what this is about, to be honest.
What was the thing that you were like, yes?
So I love the cover.
That like type letter?
I love pomegranates. I was like, oh, maybe there's like a Persephone type reference. I don't think there is, but then the art is just, it's that really fun. I'm trying to see if I can show anything. Because it is a little,
there's some nudity.
There's some nudity. It's tasteful. I can't show anything. I haven't been able to find anything. You're just gonna have to take my word for it.
Trust us.
The artwork is really, really cool, and this seems to be one of those like I base this upon things that I've had going on in my life. What's the word I'm looking for? Like autobiographical, but still kind of just weird.
Yeah.
And I love stories. Memoir-y, like that whole it gets lonely at the center of the earth type vibe. So I would say
with lots more nudity.
With lots more nudity, because there was no nudity in It Gets Lonely at the Center of the Earth. I don't know how I would have felt if that had nudity in it.
Yeah.
It would have been a little weird.
I think it would have been Zoe Thorogood would have been very like tasteful.
So hear me out, there's more. Can y'all believe that there's more? Remember, I gotta take this all home. I could have got this one at home. And I've been eyeing it for a while. But I saw it and needed it. And that is Godzilla Monster Island Summer Camp. So, fun fact that you might not even know about me.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Godzilla.
That does not surprise me because I know you are a huge fan of Alien.
I love Godzilla. He's my sweet little son. He could never do anything wrong in his little life. I love Godzilla -1, the whole Godzilla MonsterVerse that's going on right now. But like I need like fun Godzilla. So when there was something called Godzilla Monster Island Summer Camp, and it has this very fun indie feel to it. And Godzilla whimsical, and Godzilla is at fucking summer camp. And the book is only $12.99.
And I think it's in like all ages type.
It's an all ages type book.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of kiddies right now. Sorry, I didn't mean to call y'all kiddies. That was a little weird. That was a little cringe, as the kids would say.
Be cringe. That is absolutely all right. You are cringe, but you are free, my friend.
I am free, but I needed it. This is like a 2-package. Let's see if I can do this. Mad Cave publishing some really weird stuff right now.
Yeah.
This is The Mushroom Knight, volumes 1 and volumes 2. They are both $20 each. But it is a fucking dude with a mushroom head riding a frog.
How adorable.
What the fuck? And this was one of Katie's picks. So if Katie recommends it, then I guess I'm going to buy it. But again, it has that really fun, whimsical, bright colored feel. But this was not even on my radar, being the Mad Cave head that I am.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Mad Cave, what you been doing this past year?
Yeah.
Like, you've been doing fun stuff?
It's because we went away.
Not that your stuff wasn't fun, but, like, this is, like, Godzilla summer camp levels of fun. So, keep doing you and being you and doing you. And that's stuff.
Okay.
Please don't fall. That would make me sad. I'm going to save that one for last because I think it's, like, my favorite. I picked up Come Find Me, which came out a couple of weeks ago from Distillery.
And you were kind of sad because you were like, I don't see distillery in any of my shops, and like every single shop I go to has distillery here.
None of our shops have distillery. It's insane. So for those of you that were asking about Sonma, because I know there was a couple of people asking, I sadly have not read Sonma yet.
It was good. It's like a horny fever dream.
Love that.
Set in like
Sold.
Salem witch trial era.
Sold.
And it's done by Becky Cloonan and
Tula
Lotte. I got the chance to meet Becky Cloonan because she did a signing at Books with Pictures.
And she's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But this is a one shot, and it's supposed to be like spooky, maybe horny type vibes. Honestly, I would say if you picked up Soma, I feel like this is like a double feature. And it's a one shot. So jump in, jump out, very low what's what I'm looking for?
Investment.
That's the word.
Low investment, high reward.
Low investment and a high reward. Picked up from Powell's for like $10.
Is that a Silver Sprocket book? No.
This is actually published by Oni.
Oh, and
which is crazy.
It's Jen Woodall, so I thought that
it's Jen Woodall. Jen Woodall is known for doing a lot of Silver Sprocket stuff, but this is space trash, and it was Jen Woodall.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a big fan of Jen Woodall. Magical Girl Beatdown was one of my favorite like little mini comics.
Mm-hmm.
So when I saw this, I had to pick it up. This
I don't even know if so. I want to do a like if you one are one of those people who are very very horny and get very excited very quickly, and you don't want to do that right now, please look away. If you are a child, maybe under the age of 18, please look away. This show is not for you, but this incredible.
We can just scrape by with showing this cover, and I'll kind of do a very quick pull away. But
yeah, so parents.
I wanted to eBay this because none of our comic shops are carrying these.
Yeah.
And it's done by Luana Vecchio, who did the artwork on Bolero, artwork on Lovesick. Shout out to Doll's Kill, which is coming in January from Luana Vecchio and Image Comics. Pick that up when it drops. But this is a cover of Penthouse Comics, which I guess is like an anthology magazine.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love it. But look how cute she is. She's a little demon girl. She's cute.
Yep.
She's awesome. Time to put that away for the kids. Kids, you can look again. Why are you here? But also you can look again. It's safe. So that was like one of those books that I saw during my hiatus. And I was like, babe, I want it. We need to frame it.
And then it came out here. And
then it came out. And it was here. So Portland has been extremely, extremely good to me in terms of comics. Like the shops out here are unreal.
So, like, when I scream about how good it is for, like, us comic book nerds eat good here in Portland. Or maybe we don't, because we spend all of our money
I wouldn't even say you eat good here in Portland. I would say it's a motherfucking buffet.
It really, really
is. It's a buffet of goodness. Like, yeah. I don't know what to tell y'all. But our time in Portland has been phenomenal. Just being around you is just... I love you so much.
I love you, too.
Like, we've been friends for
4 or 5 years.
I think it's longer than that.
Yeah.
So we were like staring at each other from afar pre-pandemic. And then it was like in the middle of the pandemic where we actually started talking to each other. Like we worked up the nerve to finally, rather than just like commenting on each other's stuff. Oh my God, you're so fucking cute. Oh my God, look at you, babe. You go, babe. Like, it was like, let's DM and talk. And then it was like, let's text and talk. And then it was like, let's do a show and talk. And we, despite being on other sides of the country, we've kind of been inseparable ever since. We've helped each other through a lot of shit.
We have. And, like, since, like, telling people, like, hey, like, my co-host is coming out. I, like, literally cannot wait to meet her. And people are like, what do you mean? You've never met each other? Like, y'all have this energy. And I'm like, no, we've never, I mean, like, we've talked online, but we've never met in person. And then you coming out here to Portland, it's like you have immediately, it was like, I have known you for years in person and we have such a connection and I love you so much.
I love you. And that's what's crazy about it. Like, piggybacking off of what Jen said is, I've met a couple internet friends before. I've gone to Texas to meet people. I've gone to Florida to meet people. And there's always been that, like, maybe couple hours of awkwardness until you kind of realize that you're the same people that you were online.
Yeah.
Here it was like seamless. It was like being on a really good first date for
Yeah.
the first time
Yeah.
and not wanting to leave. And it's literally just been us. I mean, we've been having a couple adventures, but a lot of it is just hanging around, enjoying each other's company and energy, talking about comics and the things that we love. And it's just been a magical time.
It has. So I don't want it to end.
I don't either. And I was telling you yesterday, I've kind of hit that point in my trip where it's like, okay, the homesickness is starting to kick in. I miss my cats. I miss my husband. It's going to sound really weird. I miss cooking.
Yeah.
I miss my kitchen. Like, I really just want to, like, don't get me wrong, Portland food, chef kiss. I've had some
those
of
wings.
Those wings. I've had some of the best food in Portland since I've been here, but I just want to go home and cook.
Yeah.
Like, I miss it. But at the same time, I don't want to leave.
Yeah.
It's weird. But doing the show, we've been doing this for an hour and a half. I know that we usually go for 2 hours, but I don't think we're going to hit that. But
Yeah,
we want
that's
it.
Okay, though.
That is okay. Pace yourselves, love yourselves. But this was always our goal, was when we were physically together in the same room. That was always the dream. Was, I can't wait to do a show with you in the same room, on the same couch. And we're not quite on a couch, but we're close enough to a couch.
Yeah,
and that's what
together.
matters. We're together. We'll always be together. Always.
Is it the, like,
yeah, how does Gen Z? No, can we just like regular people? We're regular. We're old millennials.
Yeah.
We're not doing the weird Gen Z whatever the hell I can't do it. I'm old.
I can't.
But
because we're wrapping up, but I sincerely want to thank every single person who's in the chat right now, anyone who's watching on the replay, and especially like everyone who has donated to my GoFundMe over the last year. The goal was originally 25,000, which it got that, and like my heart, I cry every day thinking about all the support that people have given. Due to circumstances, the goal has been upped to 50,000. So we're working on that. So I just want to say thank you for everyone who has supported. Like, seriously, it means the world to me.
I just want to highlight this comment from Sheena because I agree. It says you're worth it, Jen.
Oh.
And that's what I've been telling her the entire time I'm out here. And I don't think she believes it. So thank you that there are other people that say it. So if we could get a "you're worth it," Jen, in the chat, that would be greatly appreciated. Fill it out. I know y'all here.
And like, shout out to Mars, because like, even I messaged you and I'm like, hey, I cannot wait for you to be here. Like, just a heads up, like, because of some cancer that's spread, like, I have to use a walker and a wheelchair. And I'm like, if we go anywhere, you're probably gonna have to like push me. Is that okay?
And I'm like, okay.
And you're like, what? Okay, like,
I was already planning on it. They sent you a little gif of Luke Skywalker and Yoda on his back, and I was like, if I gotta put you on my back like little Yoda, I will.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter, because friends do everything for each other. It doesn't matter what it is. So one thing I do want to talk about before we wrap up and say final goodbyes, because I feel like we've been kind of doing that, is the state and future of Casually Comics. And it's a hard thing to talk about because we started this channel. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but I'm gonna cry. We started this channel like 2-3 years ago. 2021, I believe, is when we officially started. It might have been the tail end of 2020. Maybe it was 2020, I think. And we did this channel just because we love comic books so much. We've never found another person that gushes and talks about comic books the way that we do. And this is just to each other.
Yeah.
So we wanted a platform where we could just kind of do that instead of just talking to thin air. And we created the space. And within a year, we had 1,000 followers.
Yeah.
We never expected to get this big. And we understand we're not the biggest channel, but we're also not the smallest channel. We want to thank this community for everything that you guys have done for us. All the merchandise you have bought, all of the kind words you have said,
the friends we have made along the way and the opportunities it has been able to provide us. Casually Comics will never ever end. It will never go away, but it may look a little bit different. I am trying to convince this lovely lady here that a live show isn't exactly feasible for her anymore.
Yeah.
And
It
that is
might
okay.
be occasionally,
That is okay.
but it won't be consistently.
It won't be consistent.
Yeah.
And that is okay. And we're trying to convince her that is okay. So I am trying to hopefully gear her towards more of a podcast audio only format. It is low risk, high reward. She can do it from bed. We don't have to get beautiful for y'all and whatever. And then we can throw episodes up whenever we happen to have the energy to record. Because even though we're not reading comics as consistently as we used to, obviously, from what you've seen here today, there is still a passion and still a love for it. And sometimes we just want to share that with you guys. So
Basically what she's asking for is she's asking for y'all to bully me
yes, please
into
bully Jen in
doing
chat.
a podcast. I still love doing live streams, so I still want to do some. I like doing it because I love hit and go live, say the dumbest shit ever.
She loves talking to you all in the chat. That's her favorite thing. She loves talking to you all in the chat. But we have to understand and that things change and things evolve, and sometimes it's for the better.
So keep looking, and hopefully we'll be doing a podcast, or we'll be doing
something, even if it's not consistent, even if we got to come back every 6 months. And as always, you guys know that you can blow up our social medias. You can DM us on Instagram. You're not on the evil app formerly known as Twitter. I unfortunately still am until maybe I move to Blue Sky.
Go to Threads, go to Blue Sky.
Because the app formerly known as Twitter is a very scary place right now, but it's like an abusive ex and I can't leave it. So I'm still there. We're both still on Instagram. Please DM us, message us, blow up our phones. And don't feel bad if we don't get to you right away, because we are slow responders. As you can tell, there's a lot going on in our lives. But we love each and every single one of you, and we would kiss you on the forehead if we could. If you were just here single file, we would go just little kisses. But thank you so much for everything. Mm-hmm. And thank you for having me and dealing with me for 6 whole days, because I will be here until Tuesday. So Jen has to deal with me for 2 more days, and then it is back to the East Coast for me, but I will be back soon. And yeah, any final things that you would like to say?
I think you said it all.
Oh, I don't like that, because what I say is not always great.
No, it was beautiful. I love you all. I want to say I love you all, and
we love you.
Maybe my parting words can be, just make sure to go to your local comic book shop. I talk a lot about books with pictures, but especially, with new political stuff happening, they need your support. We need spaces where people do feel included. I want to see you at your local comic shops. I want to see you at my comic book shop. And please, 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 this holiday season, if you can, spend some money at a local place. It may be like $3-4 more, but please try not to shop on Amazon, because Amazon will still be there, but your friends and family at the local comic book shop may not be. So for the future of comics, for the future of community, please, please, please go to your local comic book shop. So that's all I have to say.
That's all we have to say. So Thank you for joining us on a very special episode of Casually Comics. This is Mars.
And this is Jennifer.
And we're signing off.
Bye.
Bye. Nothing. Oh, my butt hurts. And I will put everything back in its place.
If I DoorDash some food, what do you want? Do you want to DoorDash some sushi?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm very basic with my sushi.
I am
So
too.
as long as there's like a crab and cream cheese roll.
You know what?
I'll be
I'm
happy.
almost exactly the same.
Crab and cream cheese with some gyoza. Woo!
Cool.
All right, well, you get back. Where are you going that way?
I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Okay, you do that, and I
Yeah.
will start to put things away.
Okay.
Let me close this. No, that was very good. Okay. Oh, we're still live.
No, we're not. Are we?